The party spent a restless night waiting for gnolls who never show up, and decide to spend the day just setting up alarms and traps before doing any more exploring. The next day, they make their descent and explore the ancient tunnels. While exploring, they come across an invisible bridge over a seemingly bottomless chasm. They use snow to mark the way and cross, ignoring Grimes's safety precautions. Eventually, they reach a locked door, which despite numerous attempts from various party members, they failed to open. They decide to call it a day and return back to the tavern to find rats had eaten some of their rations. Next day they return to the safe once more, and this time Yaramir's magic does the trick. They enter the room to find it is a treasury filled with loot. There is also an ankh, a green dragon scale shield, a crossbow, and a set of hideous leather armor, which are all magical. Their joy soon turns to despair as they realize they had a lot of gold to move to the lighthouse before their deadline. They decide to take only the most valuable treasure with them and leave the rest for later. Yaramir magically identifies some of the items, while the rest spends some time setting traps and covering the pit and erasing any traces of their presence before they leave. Their journey goes well, with no blizzard or attacks, until they reach the lighthouse, with a week to spare. They spend their time waiting, sparring, and doing some light scouting of the area, and encounter no trouble other than a small pack of gnolls that watch them from a distance. Creepy. Yaramir also lights up some of the large rocks from off the coast. Eventually, Captain Zaz arrives and takes them and their haul aboard. When they arrive back to the ruins, however, they notice that the pit has been excavated by a large creature, and the treasure chamber has been looted. Annoyed, they go to check on the tavern and find the traps there have been sprung. Dejected, the party decide to return to the fort to restock and plan their next move. What excavated the pit? Will the party reclaim their treasure? Was it a dragon? Let's find out now on Frozen Frontier.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Frozen Frontier. How are y'all doing today?
Feeling good, Neal.
Good.
I have a significant lack of caffeine.
You know,
I'm currently fixing that problem.
Yeah, Sean could always grind you some.
Yeah, Sean, if you want to zip on down the I-5 and wind up coffee, I wouldn't mind.
Man, that's like 15 minutes from where I'm at, right?
Yeah, totally. It's no problem at all.
I kind of feel like since 3 of our players are in the Pacific Northwest, the 2 of us should just fly out there and we should do an in-person game somewhere on the Washington-Oregon border.
That would
we
be
should
sweet.
do that. That would be awesome.
Meet somewhere in neutral territory.
Yeah.
Meet in
on
Idaho.
the river.
Slightly more difficult for me, but that's what I can do.
Yeah.
Neal, mine and Sean's cameras are the wrong way around.
God, I completely forgot to do that. Would you just
I even reminded
your
you.
Yeah, I brought it up.
I didn't hear your comments. Sorry.
Am I? Do
You're
I
good
need
now. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It was just Nick that was joined in the wrong order. Nick's fault.
Yeah, geez. We joined the wrong order.
Yeah,
Wow.
Nick.
You've got this little hobgoblin whispering in your ear, check the cam orders, do a sound check, and you just ignore him.
I didn't even hear it. Oh my god,
right.
something got broke over here. Oh god, what has happened to these cameras? It's not important. So, what are you guys going to do? We've already had our lovely recap by the very talented Layla and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys?
Well, are we picking back up at the fort, or are we on the boat on the way back?
Did you guys ever get back onto the boat? I think you were still in town.
Remember we... Okay.
No,
I
we
think
did.
We
I
were
think
definitely
you-
on the boat because
We got back on the boat because we told Zaz.
the ship captain wanted to count out her portion, and William was like, "No, we need to have the fort captain like
quartermaster
to make sure everything's on the level."
Cool. So you guys are on the boat. You are. Oh my god! I have done something here. Oh my.
So, does anyone remember what we did with the big metal door? Because that's probably valuable. Did we?
I
We
think
didn't get
it's
sailors.
laying twisted
It's just
and
laying
broken on the
destroyed
ground.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was probably valuable. If you could haul it somewhere, it'd be worth something. But like,
Yeah, and so it matters where we're picking. I mean, if we're still in the town, we can have the sailors haul that out and take it with
You're
us
on-
and add
you're
it
on
to
the ship.
valuables.
you're on the ship.
Yeah, let's
Is
get
that a
it
thing we
next
could
time.
arrange? Could Zaz's crew haul that metal door aboard the ship? I mean, it's
yeah.
a
I don't
big
think
slab
that's
of-
hundreds
Something
of
we should have
pounds.
brought up
Iron.
while we were down there. Now that
Yeah.
we went from the lighthouse down to this town, back up to the lighthouse, right? Like I kind
No,
of
we didn't go back to the. We got picked up at the lighthouse by
And then
Zaz. Zaz
sailed
took us
back
to
Yeah.
Treasure Town, and then that's. I mean, so tell us, DM, are we picking up in Treasure Town or are we picking up back at the fort?
You're picking up on the ship just outside of what you are calling Treasure Town.
Okay, so I guess we could send them back to Treasure Town and be like, "Yo, haul up this door."
But it
It's
is
like
not. It is
700
not currently.
pounds of twisted metal that I think you
Oh,
should.
more than that.
It's
It is- It's not aboard the ship though. That is.
It is not on the ship right now.
Cool. I don't know that I need it aboard. I am curious. I have improved my
Well, this
my lock
conversation.
picking skills. Can I know how good of a lock it was? Not. I mean, we've
Well,
already.
what is your locking picking skills
It's
right
15. So theoretically, if it were an excellent lock, I would be able to open it.
now? Right.
Can I know? Can I know if it was
Ooh.
excellent or was it superb?
You'd have to try and pick it again.
Oh, you bastard!
Yeah, I know.
It's all right.
So-
We can pick up the door the next time we're back there.
Well, there's a bigger issue going on here because you guys all came to shore, and there were a bunch of other sailors that came to shore with you, and then you guys headed back in like the first boat back, and then the other boats came to like pick up other sailors and bring them back to the ship. And the last boat returning with the last few sailors under Zaz come back with some news. They were kind of spreading out and trying to pick through the town, regardless of the fact that you guys told them to wait by the shore. They kind of ignored you and went to like loot what they could from the ruins. They didn't find any loot, but they did come back with one person saying they found a long string of tracks leading to the west of town. It looks like many tracks mixed with drag marks of different kinds.
Yeah.
So what's our food situation looking like? Like if we were to just sort of stay here now,
Well,
we got-
I'm glad you asked because we currently have 42 pounds of food and no firewood.
Okay, but we could get firewood, and 42 pounds of food is what enough for?
Well, we eat 4 a day,
Yeah, so 10
so
days.
that's like 8-9 days.
We have this treasure that we need to see secured back at the fort. Right? We decided that, right?
Yeah, I'm like, we might have an easier time tracking it down this way, but regardless of where we go now or later, the treasure's still going to be there, right? There's no economy for all this.
Yeah, but we don't know
I
what-
cast a sideways glance to Zaz. I don't think we trust her to look after our loot for us.
No.
we?
I mean the treasure that they stole. The
Oh yeah.
Knolls.
Yeah. So Ferris, what do you make of the tracks? It sounds like Noel's probably heading west from Treasure Town to the tower. Nothing unexpected. Probably not even worth going back.
More
to
or
take a
less.
look.
Well,
I think it's more or less what we were expecting.
could we not get Zaz to wait here for a day, and we could follow the tracks for maybe 24 hours? and
Not a
just
good
see-
idea. Knolls are faster in the snow than we are. It would take a while to catch up.
Yeah, not to catch them, but just to see if we can work out if they are going to that tower, or if they go to somewhere nearby. Maybe.
How do you propose we determine they are heading to tower?
Yeah, it would be difficult to say, but
Odds are they're
What
going to go
evidence
along the
would you
tree line.
require?
say that again, Yaramir.
What evidence would you require? Like, short of following them to tower, I have no idea how you determine this.
Yeah, no, it's a fair
You
point.
send some sailors to go look at the tracks and see where they're headed. Oh wait, they're headed west.
There could be many things to the west. We have not fully explored this area.
That's true, but it does give us a general direction.
Well, I'm not totally against the idea of just
What's
letting
the
Zaz
weather
take
today,
treasure,
Neal?
But
Neal, what's-
Today, let me look up my. Oh, that's what I forgot to open. I forgot to open our weather chart. Caledonian
have it
weatherman
open.
incoming.
how's the weather right now?
Actually, I don't. I lied. Damn it. Discord!
So you remember the last 3 days have been calm, and today it has been picking up into a moderate day. You know, this morning was fairly calm, but by now the winds have picked up quite a bit, as you can hear whistling around. So it's
Moderate is more than light, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can probably no longer see the mountains to the west, right?
Yeah, like
Tower.
clouds have started to blow in, and some snow is falling, or like being picked up and whipped around. I'm sorry, no. Today's a light day. I had the wrong thing circled. Tomorrow is going to be a moderate day.
They have consulted the bones. It seems the bones are telling me we'll be moderate tomorrow.
the weather's getting worse. Maybe it's a sign. We should go back.
I don't see much good in going
What a
back to
wise
shore at this
decision,
point.
leader.
We can always return to Flavortown in a few weeks.
I guess so. I just worry that if those gnolls haven't gone back to the tower, then we've lost our best chance of finding them, but there's no good finding them if we die. Or if Zaz steals all our current treasure.
Well,
Yeah,
to be
look,
fair,
if-
I will make note. If Zaz steals current treasure, it is only 400,000 copper. If we get rest of treasure is 2 million copper. Is not necessarily end of world if Zaz makes off with this bit.
I'm not concerned about Saz making off with the treasure, but skimming some off the top while we're not looking.
If it nets us another 2 million copper, though, it's probably worth it.
We can always do that later, though. We have plenty of time.
But what if they haven't gone back to the tower? What if it's some hidden...
Look,
Okay,
it's
we're
not
We're
like
not going to catch up to them wherever they've gone, and we're probably
not-
not going to be able to find where the tracks are going until we've caught up to them.
it's not like the
we do
gnolls
a
have anywhere to
native
go spend
Norwegian
this.
speaker. Perhaps our Norwegian friend could translate for us should we come back and we capture one of these gnolls and coerce it into talking.
It's not like the gnolls are going to go spending this cash at the local casino.
Yeah,
And if they are, I'd love to know where it is.
that is a good point. I suppose if we could try and
think-
capture a null, we could...
I think the
interrogate
gold
it.
will be here later.
Yeah, it's a matter of finding it, though, Grimes.
It's not going to be
That's
easy to find.
that's
We
why
can't
you brought a
catch the
treasure hunter,
gnolls.
isn't it?
Okay, then we'll go back, resupply, and get Zaz to bring us back down here in a week or two. Agreed?
You're here.
All right.
Okay. So, everyone hops aboard the ship, and you guys set sail. Just correcting
so-
people in chat about the copper economy. Very important and near and dear to my heart.
I hate it
Um,
so much. I'm
it's- yeah,
supposed to ban from my home games.
What, you're banning copper from your home games?
I have already banned Electrum. I'm this close to banning copper.
What?
It's not worth it. Or, yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
It's
Continue.
okay, it's okay. We'll have an argument later about this.
I wholeheartedly disagree, but
With
not
who?
with you.
Me?
Greg, I'm with you 100%.
with Greg, I'm all about Electrum and copper.
No, Electrum's a piece of shit.
And
but I'm all about
weird
copper.
irregular coins and
All right, well,
valuables. But we'll have this.
We'll definitely have to
it's
have
not
this
worth
conversation
derailing the
later.
session.
No,
but,
all right. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. It is a 2-day journey. Well, actually 2.5, because you already spent half a day searching the town. Back to Fort Wick for y'all.
Uh-huh. Good to be home.
That's half a day, this day, and then you arrive on the evening of the 25th of December.
So, is Zaz able to wait around for a couple of days? Because is everyone on full HP?
Oh yeah.
I believe so.
So rather than waiting a month for Zaz to go and come back, will she hang around for a couple of days so we can get our stuff in order and then just head straight back?
Another boat journey?
I feel like this is a conversation you need to have with Zaz herself. Like, well, we need to roleplay this one out, I think.
Okay.
I mean,
So you
we could
find
hire the boat
her,
again.
maybe like as you guys are unloading or something, or maybe while you're on your way to the fort, you catch her at some point below decks.
Okay, Zaz, thanks for picking us up. Look, we were hoping to head back down to Treasure Town ASAP, and I know you're not due to return here for another month or so. So, do you think you could hang around for a couple of days, and if we pay you, make the journey straight away?
She chews her lip a little bit and says, "Well, my fair knight, I have prior duties. In 4 days, I'm supposed to be picking up a shipment from Bon May and moving it around.
Uh-huh.
But I'm open to negotiation."
I give her a narrow my eyes. How much would you need to make the delay worth your while?
I'd say 10,000 sounds about right.
What do we usually pay, Neal? Sorry.
5,000.
And what did we just get from?
400,000.
Well, we don't really know. We
Yeah,
estimate
right.
that it's 408,000 based on some appraisals done in the field, but we don't have an exact value yet.
Okay.
My
Well,
appraising is always accurate.
what about
Yeah,
eight?
yes.
What about 8,000, Zaz?
Well, that doesn't include the 25% she's gonna, or the 10% or whatever she takes.
She's gonna get 200
That's
gold.
done. That was the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Okay.
William specifically said we're gonna do this at the fort with
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the next journey. Like that was specifically for the one run.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're paying a percentage of every future run.
Yes. 8,000, Zaz. How will that sound? I can't. It's difficult to justify anymore after what we've already given you. I have to report back to the princess. I can't be seen to be frivolous.
She nods in understanding. If we leave today, I can make it happen. But then we won't be back for a little while longer. Our next return will be delayed. We won't be able to pick you up for probably 5 or 6 weeks.
Okay, well that's probably fine. We need to if we need to leave today, then we need to sort the treasure out as soon as possible. Let me speak to the rest of the group and make sure that this is all right. If I were to pay you 10, could we wait another day?
She nods.
Okay, well I'll get back to you shortly. So I'll go back to our room in the fort and say I've spoken to Zaz. She's willing to take us back to Treasure Town, but would like to leave later today. Although I'm aware that we've been on boats a lot recently. Maybe you'd prefer a night in the fort before heading back out?
What do we need to do here? We need to make sure that we have a new sled, don't we?
Yeah, we need to
That
pick up
carpenter
the...
supposedly made something for us.
We
I
need to
believe
meet those
Yaramir
guys.
had a garden he was starting.
Yeah, we do have a few things to pick up here. If I pay Zaz a small fee extra, she'll wait around for a day, so perhaps we should do that.
What kind of fee are we talking here?
Double the usual fee, so 10,000 copper.
It's a good thing you never became a merchant, William.
Yeah, well, killing things is a lot more straightforward than bartering and selling things. Not really built for it.
We're getting at least some time at the fort. Could we get some narrative as to what's changed? So I believe there's new...
a whole set of new rooms being added to the fort. They're just about done. The walls are done, the roof is done, but like extra supports are being put in to help brace it against the winter cold. And the pylons that formed the palisade wall are being like repositioned. It looks like everything should be done by tomorrow afternoon or something. It's just the last few things that are being placed in and shoveled in and whatnot. There's a
There's a
crew
lot of hustle and bustle and a lot of
and there's a crew
lot
of
people.
workers here that have come to help expand the fort. So everyone has been in super cramped quarters. Your bedroom or whatever, and your magic shop have been sort of taken over, and there's people living in them, and all your shit has been moved around and like placed on like pushed
We bought
to the
extra
sides.
rooms. There should be plenty of rooms.
Yeah,
That's what they're
building.
building.
That's what they're making.
Yeah, and it was housing
under
for the people
construction.
while they were building the rooms. Was this so?
Maybe we should just leave today then. If our beds are taken.
Is the sled ready, Neal?
Let's see. When did the ship arrive last?
How long does it take to make
been over
3
a month.
rooms? We've been gone like a month.
I think the document that tells you what they can buy also tells you how long it takes to make them. The service document.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that if you're trying to
I
build
find it
something.
questionable that it takes longer to build a row of rooms than a chapel.
Then a chapel.
Wait,
And almost as long to build a dock as it is a row of rooms.
Okay, so a chapel is like a single room, a single building, freestanding building, smallish freestanding building.
Yeah, but
the
you're
row of
literally
rooms is
saying that we're
3
building
chapels,
a row
basically.
of 3 little like bunk beds.
which is
Yeah.
basically just one room with a couple of
So like,
intersecting walls.
so the row of rooms is basically like 2.5 chapels.
All right.
Because the
all
chapels
right.
would be considered small.
It doesn't matter anyway, does it?
And all the wood has to be like harvested from here and then planed. It's not like they come with all
But it
the
comes
supplies
in
they need to
perfect
build.
condition. Like it's already dried out. You can use it as soon as you cut it down.
This is true, but you still have to like chop down trees and then form it into planks and plane
That's
the
true.
planks and
right.
these
Just be like
build
log
times are-
cabin style, no? Isn't that what they do?
Some of it is log
they want
cabin,
it to be
but
thick.
some of it is log cabin. Some of it is you do need like actual timbers to frame things, though. Anyway, this
So-
is
Yeah,
This is-
can I go and visit with the carpenter?
sure.
All right. If someone else wants to come with, that's fine. I don't know if we'd all rock in as a massive group of 4, but
I think
go with-
Ferris would probably be interested. I mean, he is like the Arctic survival expert, supposedly. I feel like
Okay.
he'd be interested in this new sled technology.
all right. So let's go and see
Let me
Jimmy the
turn light on so
carpenter.
you can actually see me.
Wonderful. Where are my? What the hell is my notes?
So yeah, let's just try and leave today then. We'll give Zaz the 8,000, and we'll just grab our supplies, grab the sled, grab the dogs potentially, split the treasure, and then go back down there. With any chance, the tracks might even still be readable if the weather's held out. Although it's moderate, isn't it? So maybe not.
Here we go. Okay, so the carpenter is a male dwarf by the name of Wilhelm. The
Jesus, a
kettle
dwarf.
master is a human male by the name Max. And the new sergeant is a female half-elf by the name of Stella.
Oh yeah, I was actually planning to. Ferris is planning to introduce himself to Stella, but I guess if we're leaving today, then we'll save introductions for next time.
Anyway, you find Wilhelm the dwarf. No relation to Ryan's Wilhelm from Dyson with Death.
Wilhelm,
Hi.
dwarven friend. 'Tis nice to meet you.
Not very nice to meet you. I didn't realize it would be quite this cold down here.
Well, yes, it's a cold place. You know, it's been a while since I've spoke to a dwarf. I'm getting flashbacks.
That
Well,
was good.
I look around and say, "You seem to be making some good progress on the fort. The rooms have been built. How's the sled technology coming along?"
Well, I don't know what that dumbass who built your previous sled was up to. It wasn't necessarily the sharpest planer in the box, if you understand what I mean.
I think I can gather where you're going. Yes.
Yes, friction. Friction is a thing, and build up. He kind of takes a handful of snow. This shit just piles up whenever you move. So I've taken your former sled and I've elevated it, brought it 6 inches up off the ground on some of these extended, broad, built-in snowshoes. I call them runners.
Fascinating.
Yes. It should slip more easily.
That looks great. Okay, well, it's nice to meet you, Wilhelm. What else are you working on?
The fuck do you mean what else I'm working on? I'm building a row of houses, I'm building you a bloody sled, and I'm freezing my balls off while I do it. My beard? One giant icicle. Do you know how comfortable it is to sleep with a giant icicle around your neck?
I too have a beard, Wilhelm. I understand. Thank you, though.
If you
This
want to
looks
call
great.
that a beard, then fine. Far be it from me to tell you what you can and cannot call a beard, but, you know.
Shouldn't judge another man's beard, I suppose. Or another
Oh,
dwarf.
that's a cultural
wonder what
difference. In my
happened about
people,
that.
we only judge each other by the shapes of our beards.
That seems like a rather shallow metric, but
And your metrics aren't?
I judge a man on his character, not on the size of his. Look, this
Humans
is
never get it. Don't bother. You're never going to reach him.
This is an irrelevant argument. You seem like a nice guy, Wilhelm. I shake his hand and thank him for the thanks for the sled. I'm no
Welcome as you can be.
I'm no scientist, so I'm relying on you to come up with new innovations in sled technology as we go forward.
Sure.
So,
So, none of these bastards here have been able to tell me where the brothel is.
Yeah. No, I've got some bad news for you, Wilhelm.
Is it closed?
It's permanently closed. It's frozen shut.
Oh,
Let's start making some inroads with Mallory.
for the love of the gods!
She goes unclaimed as of yet.
Jeez. If you make it down to Flavortown, I believe there was one down there, but it was a bit haunted.
No, Saltport. There was one
They're
at Saltport.
all a
right.
little bit haunted, if you know what I'm saying. All sorts of things live in
no,
brothels
no.
that you're not expecting.
No, the more literal kind of haunted.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ghosts and ghouls.
Ghosts and ghouls.
Hard game to play.
But if you're really desperate, it might be worth it.
No, thank you. I like my spirits corporeal and fleshy. The
You might be able
fleshier
to
the
visit
better.
the mainland again at some point. Fill your boots and come back. Have you
Your terms of
attached?
services expire.
Have you attached a rope to the sled so that I may pull it? I say, looking at the
He
sled.
like deadpans you. Of course, I've attached a rope to the bloody sled.
Great. I wonder if you could build some sort of harness so that I could attach myself to it and pull it, almost like a
Like a pack
horse
animal?
like a horse pulling a
We
cart.
already have harnesses, William.
Dwarf probably points out that you're literally wearing a harness right now.
For some reason, you haven't taken your climbing harness off in the last like 6 months.
I think
Yeah.
it's just part of the.
It is?
It weighs a pound, I think. It's just like
Yeah.
part of our gear, I think.
So like in the morning, you
Someone else is carrying mine.
you like put your pants on, you put your armor on, you put your climbing
Yeah.
harness on, you put your sword belt over it.
It's like one of our layers.
Sure, that's fine.
Right?
If only there were some sort of snow horse that could pull this for us. Anyway, I'm going to go speak to the new kennel master. I bid adieu to Wilhelm.
All right.
Head to Max. What do you make of the dwarf, Faris? You ever eaten a dwarf?
Never eaten dwarf. Human. Wolves. Never dwarves.
Well,
Human?
Yeah. Remember in the very first flashback, I started carving a little meat cube out of a human that I killed.
you've told us that before. Well, you know, if everything goes to hell when the dwarf dies.
Remember, I got you, Neal. The guy on the bridge, I tried to like take care of him in a pacifistic manner, and that didn't work. So I tried to chuck him over the bridge, so that didn't work. So instead, I just stabbed him to death, and he died.
Yeah, I remember now. I think I
Okay.
blocked that out.
Learning
You
with
told-
there.
You're telling me that story. It's like, oh yeah, it's a good story for us.
So,
The
are
man
there-
was a brigand. I have no
Is there-
qualms with killing his kind.
Neal, is the kennel finished yet, or is that still under construction? Are there just doggos running all over the place?
Yeah, the Kennel Master has constructed a series of small little huts in that middle section between the walls of the fort.
Can we
so there's not
go
a
to the
lot
fort picture and
Sure.
start doodling these additions?
Yeah. So there is a new set of rooms, which I should probably make a nice map of later. Come on, you stupid. Come on. You can do this, Neal. You can. Perfect. So there is a new section of rooms that have been added out over here with just like doors that connect them to the previous rooms. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then in here, there are just like little tiny, like 1.5 by 1.5 rooms on stilts that are like 3 feet above the ground with little ramps that lead up to them so the dogs can fit. And they're spaced actually fairly far apart. They're like 4 feet apart each because The dogs are a little bit territorial, and they don't play nice with others, you know.
So I can't be playing with the doggos. They're not friendly.
You could probably play with the dogs, but the dogs, you know, they don't play with each other very nice.
What kind of dogs are we talking here then? Mastiffs.
They are not like dog breeds. They're like natural dogs, like mutts.
We need to get them little doggy jackets to keep them warm.
They have fur. They're good.
I shall go and visit the dogs and see if someone else's Grimes is there as well. Is the kennel master live near the dogs, or is that where he's hanging out?
I mean, everyone lives near the dogs. You're all living in this fort together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so you can
guess...
easily find the kennel master. It is Max. He is a middle-aged person, a middle-aged human male, like in his 50s. And he's currently sitting kind of on the stairs to the watchtower, arms folded, kind of shaking a little bit, watching the dogs fight over a bone. He sees the four of you approach and gives you a nod.
I offer my hand to him. Max, my name's Cal William Marshall.
Nice to meet you, Max.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
I looking over the dogs. They seem strong. How many do we have?
He shrugs.
Right.
Can I make a gauge check to count the dogs, Neal?
Sure, make me a gauge check.
You're joking, right? I can count the dogs.
Yeah, with a gauge check.
Good thing I upgraded my gauge this level. I just barely rolled a 21. Grimes can count.
All right, you know the number of dogs there are.
How many would you say there are,
number of
Grimes?
dogs. Is this really happening right now?
I don't. How many dogs did you order? We discussed this once before, and I don't know where I wrote it down. I can't find it in my notes.
Was it?
I think it was 100.
I think it might have been 15.
Something like that sounds about right.
Yep. So I don't know. How do we make this leap in terms of them pulling the sled?
We'll get there. We'll get there. Just let it happen naturally. Don't force it, man.
So Max, how many do you need to keep back here?
9? 8? What? 8? What? Sean, Greg.
There's 8 doggos.
There's 8?
8.
Are we sure?
Yes, I counted them. I passed my gauge check. Trust me.
There are 8 dogs. That is now canon.
Okay. How many would you need to leave back here in order to sort of maintain? I mean, I'm not really sure how this works, but if I were to take some of the dogs with me, how many would you think I should take?
Depends what you need them for. What are you taking the dogs out for?
I don't know, guarding the camp.
Have you named the dogs yet?
Prancer, Dancer, Vixen.
I was gonna make that same joke, damn you!
That's funny. That
Dancer and Prancer.
Reminds me of an old nursery rhyme with reindeers pulling. Wait a minute.
The fuck's a reindeer?
It's like a weird deer with a red nose. It's strange.
It's getting too meta for me. It's just
strange creature. Well, they seem strong, Max. Though, but you've done a good job here. Do you? How are you finding the cold?
It's a 3-dog night every night. Let's put it that way.
You get used to
That sounds creepy.
Do they make you sleep with the dogs?
Ache? Dear God, no. I get 2. You make it sound like it's a punishment. Dogs keep you warm. They all on top of you and.
Sounds like you got a pretty sweet deal. They make us sleep with the elf.
Sorry, Forrest.
I feel like this is some undue resentment. I can be rather cuddly if I want to.
So we got dogs. Are we taking dogs with us? Is that?
I don't know. I mean, look, we brought the dogs for you to use. I'm sort of in charge of them, keeping their health up and everything. You take as many as you need, but, you know, treat them well.
I don't have a...
Oh yeah, gelding isn't a thing in this world, is it? So we have a bunch of... We have a bunch of non-castrated animals.
Gelding, it's like the spay and neuter of horses.
Yeah, gelding is a thing, but it's usually done with horses, not so much with dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So I want to go and introduce myself to the dogs, Neal, try and work out which ones are the most hearty. And I will use my new skill check.
What's your skill? Animal handling?
Animal handling, yeah.
Alright. Find my Fro notebook.
I bend down
Are
to
the
pat.
dogs freaked out by the glowing red skull?
I
No,
failed.
they don't give a shit.
Okay.
I bend down to stroke the dog, and my climbing harness falls off on the floor next to one of the dogs. And I look down and I think, and I pick it back up, and then continue stroking the dog.
Okay. What
feel
are
like-
all the reindeer names, by the way? Because I actually can't name them all.
So that one looks quick. We'll call him Dasher. Oh, look at he's prancing. He's on his hind legs. Dancer, and Prancer and Vixen and Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. So that's 8, right?
Hold on. Donner, Dasher, Prancer.
Oh gosh, Neal, just slow down. You got to start with Dasher, Dancer, Prancer,
Dasher?
Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen.
You're
Donner.
talking too fast. I'm trying to write this shit down, Ryan.
Why did they
Sing the
name
song
one?
in your
Dasher,
head.
Prancer, Dancer, Comet. I don't know the song.
Okay, one at a time. Dasher,
Uh-huh.
Dancer,
Uh-huh.
Prancer,
Uh-huh.
Vixen,
Vixen. Hold
Comet,
on. Wait, stop.
Vixen.
Vixen.
No Martian eyes.
Comet.
If we add Rudolph, I'm
Cupid.
eating it.
Cupid.
Donner,
Donner.
Somebody posted it in
Blitzen.
chat, Neil.
Blitzen. What the fuck type of name is
but do you
Blitzen?
recall?
All right, there we go.
Okay. Yeah,
Got them all. Thank you.
Someone posted it in chat.
Oh, well, too late now.
Fan
You're the
tracks.
one who posted it.
No, in chat on the stream.
Oh.
We need
Yeah.
to get a Blizzard boy with a red nose to lead the pack.
That would be awesome.
If you add Rudolph to this pack, I will eat him.
We're getting a Blizzard boy and we're naming him Rudolph.
Okay.
Except instead of helping him lead them through the cold and the snow, he
He's
just like
just
makes
gonna
it
eat us
worse. He's like inverted
makes
Rudolph.
He brings a Blizzard with us wherever we go.
Yeah, he makes it impossible for the dogs to
But
find
he
their
makes
way.
like an eye of the storm around him, so we're always safe. But all the other creatures, they're screwed. They can't come anywhere near us.
Right. So you want to take a look at these dogs. They all have the same stat blocks and slightly
But we can-
variable HP.
Okay. Can I try and... I mean, I failed my check, so...
So no, you can't. I think typically you can use an animal handling to. It's usually horses, but I think you can use it to. Yeah.
Let's
Should
see, why
I?
not?
Would Gauge cover this, or is it specifically
Uh,
meant to be animal handling to gauge an
No,
animal?
Gauge can cover all sorts of things. If you take a look at it, you just need to like observe the dogs in some sort of situation
No,
that might
no.
be useful for
They're-
you. Like
they're-
them
they're
laying
too-
on the ground isn't going to help you, but if you see the dogs fighting, you'll be able to make sense of what's going on more easily.
This is fine. I like to think the canon is Ferris definitely recognizes the possibility, but enjoys seeing William do the manual labor too much.
Anyway, so Max comes over to you guys while you're looking at the dogs, still kind of shaking from the cold, even though he's got a big coat on, and goes, "So, I've been a kennel master for a lot of people before, raised a lot of dogs, trained a lot of dogs. A lot of people out there don't really appreciate what sort of fine animals these are, and they don't treat them right. If I hear you guys abusing or misusing my dogs here, we're gonna have some problems. So you take them out, you be careful with them, and
Don't worry, Max. I promise I won't let the elf eat them.
Yeah, it's dangerous work though, Max. I
That's
can't
funny, right?
guarantee that they won't be in danger, but they'll certainly be treated well.
Yeah, I get it. Just my last employer called his dogs meat shields 1 through 10, and it really didn't sit well with me. So
Some dogs are better than some people.
that's definitely an understatement. Yeah.
How strong are these guys? How much do you think they could pull?
I don't think I've ever seen a dog pull anything before. I guess I've seen them drag a person by their teeth once across ground, but it was a smaller person, maybe 40 pounds or so.
Which one of them did that?
Cupid. Real friendly.
I love her.
Yeah.
They're very light on their feet. They don't seem to sink into the snow too much.
Really?
Unlike a horse.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, not like a horse.
Not like a horse, yeah. They seem to be
Yeah.
able to maneuver in the snow quite well. Shame they're not big enough to ride.
Yeah, well, maybe for the little girl.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Probably not. That's safe though, right? I mean, they seem friendly enough, but
Tell me, are these hunting dogs, tracking dogs? Have you tried using them to sniff out the kobolds around these parts?
These are all trained as guard dogs. You know, we'll go with, or patrol dog, guard dog, that sort of thing. They'll walk with you, obey your commands, you know, growl when danger's nearby, and if push comes to shove, they'll fight. But you gotta keep them in, you know, you let them loose, and they'll chase down your enemy, and then they'll just get cut up to ribbons because, well, they're dogs, and they'll be outnumbered when they close. So you keep them close. You don't let them charge out after people. Real dangerous, unless the enemies are on the run and you've got overwhelming numbers.
will they respond to calls to heal, or?
Not once the fight has begun. They're not going to come back.
Okay.
As long as you got them by the leash, they'll obey your commands. But once you let them off, they can also be a little hard to round up once they've been let off leash. It might take you some time.
Do they have like harness leashes, or have they got like collars?
Probably nothing, right?
No, they definitely do have. Well, currently they're not leashed.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
they have collar-based leashes. Yeah.
Harness would make more sense for the upcoming use.
Eventually.
I don't think we've made that connection yet, though.
No.
We figured out how to use these climbing harnesses to lash up William, but getting a doggy version may take some ingenuity.
Yeah, I think at some point you'll probably come across something that makes it very apparent that will be an obvious thing. Like,
We need
you'll find them in a situation.
some Knoll cave drawings.
Or, like, something will happen, and there'll be, like, an obvious connection between them.
Okay, so we're not doing that now. Right, fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
All right, well, good work, Max. Do you think we should get some more? If we were planning to take some, it might be nice to have some to help guard the fort as well.
So we take 2 with us, and then they have another 6.
Yeah. What if we need more in the future, though?
Can we even support more?
We can import as many dogs as you want. We can import 100,000 of them if you wanted.
Just gotta have the money. 20 GP each, boys.
It's an issue of money and housing and foodstuffs, and you know, these guys are pretty aggressive as guard dogs, so they tend to bicker with each other. You want them spread out. We can probably get another 6 or 7 in here, maybe another 10 in here before we're gonna run out of room. And as it is, it's kind of awkward to walk between these huts for non-dog inclined folks.
Are there any particular 2 that get on well?
No.
Okay. All right, well, I think we'll take a couple out with us. We're leaving later today.
Which 2 do you want?
You're the expert. The most sturdy. The most hardy.
He assigns you Prancer and Dancer, hands you their collars and leashes, and brings you over to the area inside the fort where there's now like a big supply of dog food.
Okay.
Meeson, I think is what it's
We
called.
have a dwarf. Nice.
So what? Okay, Prancer and Dancer, do you want to tell me their HP, Neal, or not?
In just a moment, I'm trying to figure out how to say it.
Pemmican.
Pemmican is what it is.
Excuse
You
me.
were just playing that audio for us.
Yeah, well, I had to learn how to pronounce it, so.
What's a pemmican?
It's like food ration sort of stuff. It's a combination of fat and protein that's used as a nutritious food, but it will, like, you know, it's not so great on your digestive system. It's basically fat and grease mixed to, like, it's what Arctic explorers would use as food for long periods of time. It's what the God, what was his name? Shackleton's group used. Yeah.
Is
Do we
that
have a
what our
cooking
rations
pot?
are?
Up until now, your rations have mostly just been like dried meats and some dried fruit brought in from the mainland. The Pemmican has been brought specifically for the dogs because it's dense and not that delicious and like easy to ration out to animals. You can definitely survive on it. But
Okay.
it's
Greg,
not
do we
super
have a cooking pot?
We do indeed. We have
Give me that
2
shit.
small cooking pots.
So Neal, would a small cooking pot be enough for like a party of 4 people?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. So I'm gonna grab that. Do we have any like spices?
I bought pounds and pounds of herbs to go in our greenhouse. I don't know what any of them do. Some of them are like real toxic. Some of them are just fruity.
I'm gonna wait until you get level 6, and then I'm gonna start spicing our food real good. You just hit me up with that sweet herbalism knowledge.
All right, I'm literally just going to use you as like an experiment, like because I don't have herbalism yet, but I'm learning.
No, because it's dried meats and fruits, right, Neal? So we can take some snow, boil it up, and then we can make stew every night.
Sure.
Boiled jerky.
Can you like rehydrate beef jerky by cooking it in like soup water?
Yeah,
Probably.
it's not. It doesn't taste good, but yeah.
What if you add some spices to it?
You can make
Always-
anything delicious by adding spices.
All right, let's do it.
Don't know about that.
Ryan, I expect you to boil some beef jerky for us for next week. So
There's funny you should ask. I literally boiled beef jerky this morning. We marinate. It wasn't dry, so we marinated a ton, and it was too much to fit in our dehydrator. So we had this like marinating jerky. It was raw, sitting in the fridge.
wow,
And I just boiled it like an hour before we started.
nice.
Damn.
Okay,
So I'd like
So-
to go to the dwarf real quick
sure.
and show him the sample of grout I took from the tunnel, and see if the dwarf can recognize it because of his dwarfiness.
Sure. Dwarf takes a look over this and kind of mushes it between his fingers, kind of tastes a little bit of it, chews on it. Definitely not dwarven grout. Definitely not anything I've ever tasted before, or seen, for that matter. Granted, I'm a carpenter, not a stonemason, but my father was a stonemason, so was my mother, so was my brother and my 3 sisters. I preferred things a little bit more flexible, you know? I liked craft that you could mold more elegantly.
Is there a chance, Master Dwarf, that you could tell me an approximate age of grout?
He looks at the grout for a little while. Did you take me to where it was found? I think
We could one day, yes. I am a little worried there may be large beasts still there at the moment.
Gotcha. Well, I can't tell you anything based off of this small sample, other than it's definitely not dwarven in make. It's really how do you call it? The particulates in the grout are bigger than we dwarves would use. It reeks of hasty construction or low quality craftsmanship work,
Very
or
good.
human construction.
I appreciate your expertise on matter, Master Dwarf.
My pleasure.
Yaramir, can I requisition some equipment?
Yeah, what do you want?
Do we have quarrels to take?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Let me go to our weapons section. We have 90 remaining light crossbow quarrels.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to fill my
Okay.
my thing back up.
I'll
are
take
we
a
out of-
javelin. So.
Holy shit.
I got a whole list, so I don't.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Are we out of throwing knives?
Yes. You took
Okay.
all of the throwing knives
All
previously.
right. Next chance we get, we should order some. I still have 4. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That seems like it's a consumable in this.
Okay.
with the snow.
I'll treat it as a consumable.
So I
treated
probably
it
need like
a
100 next time. We've
Yeah.
got a ton of
Yeah,
money.
will do.
Can I give you 32 owlbear feathers?
Yes, you may.
I don't know if they have probably much more significance to you than they do to me. And I wanted twine. It seemed like that came up a lot
Yeah.
with-
So
with traps.
I have 200 feet of twine.
Okay, how much does that weigh? Do we know?
Twine.
I can probably put that in the
Let's
economics.
just call it a pound for
For 2 feet.
Twine
more
weighs
or less.
0.1 pound per 20 feet.
Perfect. That's
So it'd be 1
exactly what you've got,
pound.
Neal.
Yeah.
So 1 pound.
Nice.
Okay, so I'll take a spool of twine. And
So you're
bring
gonna-
that with me.
Is somebody carrying a climbing harness for Yaramir? Because I have 2 on my character
Taking
sheet.
100 feet or 200 feet.
I was just gonna take it all. Yeah,
I think
Just
you were
take all
carrying
mine. All
that
right.
harness.
You have 200 feet of twine.
and I think that's all I need. William Ferris, go ahead.
Are you having somebody carry your climbing harness for you, Greg? Because I have 2 on my character sheet. and I'm
Yes,
not
you
sure
were
if that was-
carrying my
okay.
climbing harness.
Okay, I just want to make sure. And we need to put the cooking pot on the sled. I was a little bit overzealous in
Cooking
how much
pot
extra
on
weight I
sled.
could carry.
Done.
But I figure that works because we can just put the rations in the pot.
So we've talked about the sled and the conversion it'll do for you, right?
It's a fifth of the weight, right?
Is that
It
what
used
this?
to be one.
The
It was
other one
one
was
fifth of the
half.
weight originally,
Mhm.
and then you nerfed the other sled and said once we upgraded it, it would go back to 1/5.
Right, and the previous sled that you were using, the
Was
first
1/2.
sled was
Was
half. Okay, and this one's a fifth. So, what a wonderful thing. And do we have the weight? No, we're not including the weight of the
sled weigh any different than it did previously?
No, same weight of the sled.
Okay, so sled and tent are going to weigh 70 pounds together.
Oh wow, that's great, but that's only actually going to be 14. Amazing.
I'm just going to keep track of the total weight, and I'm going to leave it to you to convert it as needed.
Okay, so I will just keep track of total sled weight. Okay.
The sled itself would not. Wait, would the sled? Oh yeah, the sled itself would also be a fifth of the weight.
Yeah.
So
That makes
currently, what is the total weight, Yaramir?
Well, we haven't loaded it back up,
Okay.
but right now it's sitting at 152. But we're gonna add a lot of food and supplies on it.
Can you just do it divide by 5 on your spreadsheet for me?
Or yeah, Williams' effective weight.
Yeah.
Sure. So this equals this cell divided by 5. 30.4 pounds as of now, but we're going to load it way up.
Okay. Got it. All right. Also, Yaramir, would you be able to accompany me to visit the quartermaster and have the treasure divided and
Of course, any chance to talk with Alicia would be happy.
Faris, Grimes, can you entertain yourselves for a while? We'll be gather supplies for the trip because we'll be leaving tonight.
Yes, I'll just go to the home theater entertainment system. I heard they just got it installed.
Did you take a javelin, William?
Care for a round of Mancala?
I haven't taken it from the spreadsheet.
Sure, let's take the board with us this time.
No,
It gets
but you wanted
We'll
one.
see if.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Sure, but let's see if the captain has gotten any better in our absence.
very well. Ferris is a reasonably intelligent character, right? Oh yeah, he should be good at Mancala. Should be fine.
So we go to Alicia.
Sure.
So I guess, we want to work out how much all the treasure's worth, and then we give Zaz 5%, and we take 20, and the rest goes back to the crown.
Sure. Done.
So how much do we get for our pot?
Didn't I give you an exact?
Well,
count before?
the estimate we were working on was
from the
408,000 copper total, but that's yet to be broken into percentages.
Which I can give you. We just get 20% of that after everybody else's take. If you
But
want
is
to do it, though.
that right, Neal?
Yeah, basically, like, did Grimes accurately appraise that
Yes. Grimes is
Okay.
completely accurate.
value? Okay.
81,600.
Yep, 816 gold after all applicable expenses have been paid for.
81,600 copper going on the sheet.
Is that a lot, Yaramir, or is that?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, the loot we got in the previous cave was 142,000, so it's a little short of that, but it's still a pretty good haul.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, we got the magic items, and that's
Yeah,
And
which
we
is
got magic items, which is pretty baller.
Yeah.
priceless, right?
Yep. Speaking of magic items, it's good to remind everyone what they are.
Oh.
Sean is wearing this really, really ugly suit of leather armor that it's
Look.
just hideous.
They just don't understand the artistic vision of this armor creator.
Grimes has a crossbow. William has a dragon scale shield. And Yaromir has an Ankh.
We don't know what the Ankh does yet, do we? The shield
It's
and the
all,
Ankh.
it lights up.
When
It's
held,
basically a better
it
version
lights.
of the skull. Yeah.
Okay. Did we identify that, though, or have we just worked that out
Yeah.
from...
He identified it. He identified the armor. I don't think the shield got a proper identified
Okay.
because it failed.
Is that right, Greg?
Cross-
Oh, yes. So if we want to go back, let's jump to the present on here. I kept these notes separate. The leather has a magic bonus to AC of a moderate variety. The crossbow is a crossbow of accuracy, meaning all the ranges on it are short. And then the other two I failed. But
Oh,
we
you failed the
did-
Ankh?
But we did identify the We did identify the schools of them.
What was the?
I didn't realize you failed the Ankh.
What was the school about?
And I'm trying to find where we did the schools. Conjuration for the Ankh, Abjuration for the shield, Enchantment for the crossbow, and Abjuration for the leather.
Is light a conjuration spell?
Light is probably a conjuration spell, yes. But I can check for that.
If it's not, then that would imply that the Ankh has another use other than just the light.
IJKL. Light. Light is a alteration spell.
Nice. So it would imply that it does something else, right?
Potentially. Yarp.
Cool. All right. Well, we've sorted that out. If anyone's got any other RPing they want to do inside the fort, otherwise I suggest that we head back down.
I'm gonna save introductions to Stella for when we come back. It's a little, it'd be a little bit too rushed.
That was retconned, right? So there, you hadn't.
I hadn't figured out what the.
You hadn't rolled up the new soldiers last time. We had met them a month ago, right? You just haven't.
Right, like they showed up as you guys were taking off, and so I didn't work out the details, and so we kind of just hand waved it all magically.
Yeah, and I think it's fine. They kind of just blend into a crowd of soldiers.
Yeah.
There's how many now? There's like 20, right?
We're back to our full accompaniment of, 24 soldiers and 3 sergeants that lead
So
them.
see, this is the other reason why I think we should have a perfectly fine room, is because there was an empty Squad 3 room and our room. So if they just went into the Squad 3 room, then our room is just...
So there's also the
there were
kennel
also
master
temporary
and the
workers.
building crew was
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, the build. So there's
The building
there's
crew
like
is
50
temporary,
people
right?
in
Like
the
they go
fort
back
right
after
now.
they finish the row of rooms.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is... Okay, that doesn't make sense, because if we had a full area and we bought a building crew, they would have to have brought their own temporary...
They would have just like doubled up, and it would have been very uncomfortable for everyone to sleep.
That wouldn't have worked, but okay.
All right, so where are we now?
I believe we're about to
heading
get
out?
on the ship.
We're about to get ready. Yeah. Yaramir, you know when we're out in the field, do you want to keep hold of the dogs? I feel they might provide a barrier between yourself and any rogue.
Sure, I will keep hold of dogs. If they get too aggressive, I don't know, leash might leave my hand. I'm not the strongest dog master, but...
Just remember what Max said. Like, let's just keep them close to you until if things get really necessary, then I guess let them go. But
Sure. Hopefully they do not get too excited.
yeah,
You know, if you hold on to the leash for dear life, they might pull you faster than you can run through the snow yourself.
This is possible. I am quite slow.
it's an interesting idea.
Jesus.
All right, let's
You're
go.
trying really hard here, Nick.
Dancer, Prancer, Faris, Grimes, Yaramir, Zaz. Let's get back on this boat.
Let's do it, yeah.
Take a
We need to load
There
up
was
a meeting
with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
There was
we
a
had a
meeting
quick
with
thought.
Captain or Corporal. Wait, Captain.
Corporal
who?
Alicia?
Corporal Alicia, right? We count out the wealth.
Yeah,
Corporal
it's all
and Zaz,
divided
right?
properly. It's fine.
Yeah, but that.
Should we leave a proposed requisition for anything other than throwing knives?
Let me look at the economic sheet really quick. Do you want to go on break so that we can kind of get this all sorted? and
Sure.
leave
Why
at
don't we
the
take a
start?
break here, and we'll come back in about 5 or 6 minutes with more stuff. See you soon.
All right.